Impeach Trump. Most 2020 Washington New Democratic leaders in Congress have argued that impeaching President Donald Trump is a political mistake as the 2020 election nears. Most of the candidates, fewer than one-third of the 23 Democrats vying for the nomination, are issuing calls to start the impeachment process, citing evidence in special counsel Robert Mueller's report they believe shows Trump obstructed justice. Most others, the candidates' reluctance, even as more congressional Democrats start pushing their leaders in the direction, underscores the risky politics of investigating the president for hire. White House hopefuls may win praise from liberal activists by pressing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, D. California, for an impeachment inquiry, but those who fall short of insisting are unlikely to take heat from early state primary voters more focused on other issues. People. What? Tom Steyer, a California billionaire, has run television ads and held town halls across the country as part of a campaign calling for Trump's impeachment. He suggested that Steyer said that if the public saw televised, unfiltered hearings that showed exactly the administration's blockade of congressional investigations and Mueller's report detailing possible obstruction action have yet to push any new Democratic candidates off the fence. Former Vice President Joe Biden, the current front-runner, said last month there is no Vermont Sr. Bernie Sanders, New Jersey Sr. Cory Booker told Even California Sr. Kamala Harris, the most vocal pro-impeachment candidates are Massachusetts Sr. Elizabeth Warren, Moulton and Swalwell are among 4 candidates could vote on impeachment, as current House members. Pelosi and other, given the slim likelihood of that, it's no surprise to Democrats outside the nation's capital that impeachment isn't gaining steam among the candidates. The Associated Press writer Thomas Beaumont contributed from Newton, Iowa.
Raindrop, truck top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,